Hey everyone, I'm Cadet Dimony. My fellow cadets and I are going to go over some of the basics of PT with you all to make sure you're mentally and physically prepared for this semester. I'm going to have this video broken down into several different parts, so if you have any specific questions, I'll list the major topics in these timestamps here on the screen. Also, there are some important links listed in the description which I would urge you to go over before the start of the semester. That being said, let's get right into it.
Hey, go get rockin'!
Hello 100s, I'm Cadet DOYON. I'm going to be the physical fitness officer in charge of the cardio portion of PT for next semester. It's going to be my job to get you guys ready for the run part of our fitness assessment. That run is going to be 1.5 miles long, and for guys you have to get it done in 13 minutes and 36 seconds, which is about a 9:04 pace per mile. For girls you have to get it done in 16 minutes and 22 seconds, which is about a 10:55 pace per mile. Those are the times that will get you the minimum number of passing points for the exam. However, minimums aren't really good enough in my opinion. You guys need to be faster. We want to shoot for the maxes. For guys, that gets you the max number of points will be a 9:12 for the 1.5 miles, and that's going to be about a 6:08 pace per mile. For girls, if you get it done in 10:23, which is about a 6:55 pace, max points. If you guys can already run those paces, fantastic. You're going to be looking really good for our fitness assessment. If you can't, it's okay. It's going to be my job to get you guys there. Just come to PT ready to work hard. And speaking of PT, a typical PT you can expect from me is going to be a run. So if you don't like running, I apologize for that in advance. My background is in cross country and track and field and cycling, so endurance sports. So you'll see a lot of workouts that I use to train for 5Ks, 10Ks, half marathons, stuff like that. So you'll see some typical distance runs, some fartlek workouts. If you don't know what that is, it's okay. You'll definitely find out. Some track workouts and the occasional formation run where we all run as a detachment and sing jodies and people stare at us, and it's actually a really good time. How you can prepare for this is just go out and run. So the FA is going to be a 1.5 mile run. So if you go out and you do a 3 mile run at these kind of paces, that means you can do it. If you can't, start at the mile, then 2 miles, then 3 miles. Work your way up and train so that the 1.5 during the test will feel really, really easy. Another thing is bring a decent pair of shoes. If you show up in skate shoes or fashion athletic shoes, you're just going to have a bad time. Those tend to be heavy, not very supportive, and they don't really help you at all on these runs. You want to bring something that's going to make it as easy as possible to get good times, and a decent pair of running shoes is going to do that for you. Another thing you think about is form. So if you're not a runner, watch some videos on good running form and training techniques and stuff to do before a run, like stretching and warm-ups. If you just take off and run with no experience, you're more than likely going to end up injured. So do some research for it. Running is more of an art than a sport, so really look into it and see if you can do it the right way before you teach yourself the wrong way. And lastly is, if you guys have a background in cross country or track and field or something like that, and you have a workout that you think would really, really help people, my contact information is going to be in the description of this video, so go ahead and shoot me a text or an email. I'm a pretty nice guy. I promise I won't yell at you. And let me know what your workout is, and I'll see if I can factor it into the training plan that we already have made so far. So I look forward to seeing you guys this fall, and good luck.
Looks good till you go, hey, come my way, suka suka na na, come on, sale ale, with the suka suka na na, oh hey, come my way, suka suka na na, come on, sale ale, with the suka suka na na, hey.
Good afternoon, incoming cadets, and welcome to the Detachment 290 family. My name is Cadet Hasl, and alongside Cadet DOYON, it will be our job to get you guys and girls in the best possible shape come this fall. As physical fitness officers, it is our responsibility to provide the tools and guidance to do your absolute best. With that being said, it is ultimately up to you guys individually on how you want to score on the physical fitness assessment. The physical fitness assessment consists of a cardiorespiratory endurance portion in the form of a 1.5 mile run, a body composition measurement which includes a height, weight, and waist measurement, and a muscular fitness portion which includes a 1-minute timed portion of push-ups and sit-ups. I will focus my effort in preparing you as well as the rest of our detachment for the muscular fitness portion of the PFA. I will include in this video an extremely well done video that shows the proper form for both push-ups and sit-ups in the description. Let me begin, however, by going over the scoring for this portion. The muscular fitness portion of the FA accounts for 20 points of the total 100 points on the assessment. The minimum requirement for men is 33 push-ups and 42 sit-ups. The maximum requirement for men is 67 push-ups and 57 sit-ups. The minimum requirement for women is 18 push-ups and 38 sit-ups. To receive full points, it is 47 push-ups and 54 sit-ups for girls. It's okay if you don't remember these exact numbers, because I will also be including a link to a scoring chart for your reference in the description to this video. Okay, so what can you guys be doing right now? Improving your push-ups and sit-ups requires no equipment and just a few minutes per day. There's really absolutely no excuse not to improve your muscular fitness score. Improving your muscular fitness begins with one, practicing proper form. Proper form not only prevents injury but also facilitates receiving a higher score. Number two, make sure you guys are being consistent. You'll not see significant improvement without continuation of training. They say practice makes perfect, and this is no exception. Without continually tearing down your muscle fibers and giving your body time to recover, you'll plateau and never reach the numbers that you'd like. Number three, make sure you guys are doing a variation of different exercises to help with your push-ups and sit-ups. For push-ups, there's exercises like wide grip, close grip, diamond, incline and decline. For sit-ups, there's really any ab exercise, crunches, planks, hanging leg raises, leg lifts. And number four, make sure you're eating enough and eating properly. Drink plenty of water and get plenty of sleep, and ensure you're having a balanced diet with enough protein. So for those who are wanting to improve while at home, I'd recommend beginning with 1 minute of push-ups and 1 minute of sit-ups while performing correct form. This will serve as your baseline. And then take the number of push-ups and sit-ups that you completed and divide it by 2. Perform 5 sets of that number of repetitions for each exercise every other day. And they all don't have to be at the same time. If you can't do 5 sets of 20 push-ups at one time, that's fine. Maybe do 2 in the morning, 1 after lunch, and 2 sets before you go to bed. At the start of each week, retest and recalibrate your repetitions. I know this is a pretty general plan, and it probably won't work for everybody. And those who want additional help, please feel free to contact me, and I'll be happy to assist you guys in any way that I can. I'll put my contact information in the description with everything else. There's also so many resources available on the web. Free push-ups and sit-up improvement plans, yoga videos on YouTube, and tons of information on proper eating. Thank you guys so much for your time, and I hope to see you guys in the fall.
On your left.
Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. I am Cadet Dreama, and I'm going to be covering just an overview of physical training, or PT, how we do it at our wing at the University of Kentucky AFROTC Flying Wildcats program. A little bit about me. I'm a mathematics major. I'm on a 5-year track. I've done ROTC every semester of my career so far, and I'll be going to my AS400 year in ROTC, and then my senior year just in college. So the layout of PT. So the first thing that I want to cover for physical training, or PT, is the types of PTs that we have. So the types of PT that we have range from hard days, recovery days, total body days, challenge days, fun, morale days, whatever. It just kind of depends on what's going on. In general, though, we're going to be focusing on total body workouts, so cardio, upper body, lower body, and core, all those 4 groups. And this is usually accomplished by doing stations PT. So pretty simple, the wing divides into groups, usually like count off 1 through 3 or 1 through 4. And you sort of take up whatever space you're using. And some people are doing cardio, then they move on to legs, then they move on to core. You get the idea. Another type of PT is the PFA, which stands for the Practice Fitness Assessment. We usually try to get in like 2 of those, maybe 3 of those each semester, because the fitness assessment is conducted once a semester. And so the PFA is just a great way to kind of gauge how you're doing, what your scores are looking like, what you can improve on, stuff like that. And there'll be another video covering the fitness assessment that the Practice Fitness Assessment covers. We also have morale PTs. Those are fun. We basically divide the wing into groups and cycle through different games or just different stations of the same game, kind of like a round-robin tournament, depending on the game. There's tug of war, ultimate frisbee, volleyball, gator ball, basketball, catch the flag, and dodgeball, if I haven't said that already. We don't have these all the time just because the frequency at which we PT isn't that often, and so we want to make sure that we're getting good workouts in. But they are fun, and it is a pretty good workout, although it's usually mainly just cardio, depending on the game. But those are a lot of fun, and we usually have those before breaks or to commemorate the end of the fitness assessment after everybody's done taking it or something like that. And yeah, those are a lot of fun. Okay, so the uniform that we wear for physical training. This is all covered in AFI 36-2903. I know that sounds like a lot, but basically AFIs are just catalogs of information, rules, regulations, guidelines, and that sort of thing. It covers drill and ceremony, how to march, how to call things, how to call commands, how to wear the uniform, and everything in between, really. So the AFI 36-2903, it was last updated February of the year 2020, and so I'll actually just be doing like a read over of that in the next part of this video. But the basic PTGs, or physical training gear, that you wear for PT is the shirt. Actually, I have another set. So yeah, you got the shirt. It's got the Air Force logo on the front and on the back. Most people go one size up for the shirt just because you do have to tuck it in, as you can see. And there's rules with how you do that. And you might have saw my shorts too. And those look like this. The back looks the same, just without a logo. Similar to the shirts, people usually go a size up. Just because they can be kind of uncomfortable if they're too tight. It's not that big of a deal, but you do want to make sure that when you get your first set of PTGs, that it fits. And you know, if it doesn't feel good, if it's too small, if it's too big, make sure you get that adjusted right away within the first couple weeks of being here, because that'll make PT kind of frustrating for you if they don't fit well. Yeah, so I've also got my athletic shoes on. And socks. Socks can be white or black, and shoes can be any color, but I'll cover that. Okay, so the location. The location of PT varies Usually in the fall semester, we conduct PT at Nutter Field Training Facility, Nutter Field House, which is just an indoor track and football field. And that's a nice big open space that you can do a lot with. And then in the spring, we do PT at Memorial Coliseum. Again, just a big gymnasium, bleachers, stairs, and then a concourse that we used to run around in lieu of a track. And also in the spring semester, we'll do PT at Buell Armory, which is a little bit smaller in comparison, but it does have a weight area, and if you divide into groups, it's not that bad. And we do a lot of relays in Buell Armory too, and kind of those that close environment kind of just generates excitement and competitiveness between people, so that's always fun. So how often do we do PT? We'll be conducting PT twice a week this coming fall semester. It may change in the future, but in general, it should be twice a week. And we'll be doing it Monday morning at 0600 hours and Wednesday morning at 0600 hours, or Monday and Wednesday at 6 o'clock in the morning, 6 a.m. So arrival time for PT, you want to arrive 15 minutes. Sometimes that works out, but you got to remember, going to the bathroom, filling up your water bottle if you didn't come with it filled, changing out of your cold weather gear, and getting accountability and any information that's coming out or any new things that you have to know about. That takes time. So don't be late, be early. If you show up at 0600, you're actually going to find that you're late, and people are already formed up and probably already starting PT. So form up time is usually 05:55. It's unofficial, but in general, every semester, people look at their watch and okay, 05:55, let's form up. I'm just going to be putting the content of what I did record just from me to you camera into a PowerPoint presentation with the use of self-made flowcharts. I recommend just pausing the video. I'll just give like an overview of each slide. I recommend pausing the video, reading the boxes in black, and then just following the flowchart down. And of course, please take notes. Bring any questions that you have to your POC flight commander. Maybe even if you have a collection of notes, you want to compare them with other people, maybe they can help you out. Build some camaraderie, build some decentralized command there. That's a term they might hear later on. But yeah, I'll just give an overview. It's a lot to talk about, and if I did read from the slides, I literally would just be reading whatever I have, and you can do that. So I don't want to add on to the time of this video and make it longer than it already is. So I can't get rid of the video of me in the bottom, but there's going to be a link to this PowerPoint, and it should be on our website too, so that you can view it without my face in the bottom. However, I will try to read the bottom part if it's cut off by the video. So for this case, it says, Alpha Flight is now properly spaced and is ready to report accountability. Continuing on next slide. So yeah, this slide just covers how flights form and how you get spacing for PT at 05:55 when everybody's falling into their spots. How do you do that? How do you get spacing? Okay, so after you get formed up and you get your spacing, you then have to report in the flight the accountability of that flight. So the flight deputy is going to have a dialogue with the physical fitness officer, and I'll turn my camera preview on. I know I can't get rid of it, but I can see it now. Whenever it says raising their hand, raising their arm, in the bottom right, the top right box, it says straight up bicep to head. What does that mean? Whenever you're making a statement or asking a question, excuse me, this is how you do it. So from the position of attention, so that's also in drill and ceremonies, you can look that up. From the position of attention, It looks something like that. Cadet Piffo, may I make a statement? Right? And in general, you don't have to do that with GMC unless it's formal like this, reporting accountability. And with POC, you almost always want to do that. So I'll give you another 5 seconds or something to pause this. And you might notice it says flight deputy salutes from the position of attention and says accountability. Okay, well, what does that mean, right? I just included this so that you have the full feature, and then we'll expand on that on the next slide, that part. Okay, this one I will kind of review. So when you're reporting accountability, there's a couple things to keep in mind, right? So is that person present? Are they there? Are they in the flight? If yes, then they are present, and you include them in accountability in the fraction numerator. So if you look at the top left, those green boxes and the green line, that's supposed to represent like a fraction with a numerator and denominator, is what I was trying to go for there. So numerator would be cadets present or accounted for. So that line out of the total number of cadets in the flight. Okay. So that's if the cadet is present, then yep, add them onto the top and you go 1, yeah, he's here, 2, she's there, 3, all the way up, whatever. But then we get into, is the cadet present? No. So if the cadet isn't there, do you know where they are? Or do you know their reason for not being present at the time of accountability reporting? So yes, you do know. They're in the bathroom, they told the deputy, or the day before or the morning of, they say that they're sick, or the night before or the morning of, they worked safe cats last night. But you'll notice in all of these, they told someone. So then it's your responsibility to take that information and make sure everybody knows about it. So if they did that, they are accounted for, and you want to include them in accountability just like if they were present. So is the cadet present? No. Do you know where they are or why they're not there? No. And you ask around, nobody knows. Check in on your airmen, check in on your fellow buddies, and see what's going on with them. If you still get nothing, if they're not responding and you don't know, then they're unaccounted for. Okay, and you don't include them in the accountability fraction when you're reporting accountability. So when you do report accountability, whether they're there, whether they're not, whatever numbers you have out of how many people that are present or accounted for out of the total number of cadets in the flight, you will always say this many cadets are present or accounted for out of blank. And so we'll do some examples of that on this slide. I don't know how that's going to work when it's cut off. We're going to do some examples of what we talked about in the last slide on this slide. So, situation, you have 10 people, 10 cadets in Alpha Flight. They're all present. Okay, pretty simple. When you're reporting accountability, may I make a statement? Make your statement. Alpha Flight accountability is 10 out of 10, all cadets present. Right, pretty simple. 8 cadets are present and in formation. 2 cadets are not present, but they're accounted for. Cadet A has the flu and Cadet B worked safe cats the night before. Okay, well, they both told the flight or the deputy that they wouldn't be there, and there was a proper communication there. Accountability for the flight deputy would be something like this. Cadet Piffo, may I make a statement? Make your statement. Alpha Flight accountability is 10 out of 10. All cadets present and accounted for. Cadet A is sick and Cadet B had safe cats. Very good. Or whatever they say. Thank you is what they usually say. And then there's 2 other examples. Test it out, make up your own scenarios and see how they add up. Basically, there's a situation where everybody's present. There's a situation where there's people present and accounted for. There's a situation where people are present and unaccounted for. And then there's a situation where there's people present, unaccounted for, and unaccounted for. But as long as you follow that as long as you follow that fraction, cadets present or accounted for, and you can always go back to the other slide, which details what that means. Out of total number of cadets in the flight, you can't go wrong. Okay, so after the flight gets accountability, however many people are present, unaccounted for, or accounted for, whatever you have. After the flight gets that accountability, this is when the physical fitness officer of the flight proceeds to take it up the chain of command. And they're going to take it to the deputy squadron commander. Okay? So that's going to be this left column in between the black box and then the two boxes on the right. That's where the physical fitness officer of the flight is taking it to the squadron deputy. They're reporting their flight's accountability. Okay? So, after they report it to the squadron deputy, the physical fitness officers of every flight, after they report it, they're going to use facing maneuvers to face the flight and then continue on the next slide with what happens there. In the meantime, while they're addressing their flight with, it's going to be personal stretching, more than likely. In that meantime, this is what's happening at that upper chain of command level, sort of, with the GMC. So after the squadron deputy receives accountability from all the flights in the squadron, so all the physical fitness officers, all the PIFOs, have given the squadron deputy their flight's accountability individually. They're going to collect them all, and they're going to have a squadron number. So just like the flights had that fraction, now it's going to be out of a squadron, so it's going to be bigger. Usually there's 2 or 3 flights per squadron, so, you know, do the math. They will do a facing maneuver and face the GMC squadron commander and report accountability just as it's been done before. And then the GMC squadron commander will use facing movements to face the POC squadron commander, and they should be nearby, if not right next to you, to help you out. And they're going to report accountability for the whole squadron in the same way before. So just following that chain of command with accountability, it's very important. And I'll just give you another couple seconds. All right. Okay, so this is what I mentioned earlier with what's going on at the lower level and then what's going on with the upper level, sort of within the same time frame usually. And when I say lower level and upper level, I just mean up the chain of command. It's not, there's no disrespect there, it's just what's going on at the lower chain of command and the upper chain of command. So this is what the physical fitness officer is going to do after he receives accountability and reports it to the squadron deputy. He or she is going to face the flight, their flight, and at the position of attention, the PIFO is going to say, "I'm Cadet PIFO," or whatever your last name is, of course. "At my command, the first exercise of the day will be personal stretch. This is a timed exercise that will be performed for," you can check your watch or whatnot and just see, oh, it's 05:57. Okay, well, that's 3 minutes until 0600. So using that example, this is a timed exercise that will be performed for 3 minutes. And then at this point, even if it's not encouraged, don't wait until later in the semester or later in the year or even the next year when we're going to be on you about using time hacks. Just start off right from the beginning. So as soon as you say how long it's going to be performed for, just see someone that has a watch and then say, "Cadet," let's say their last name is Time Hack. "Cadet Time Hack, you'll be my time hack." And then they can show that they're ready and like waiting for the command, or they can say ready. And then the PIFO can continue with what they were going to say, which is position of the exercise, move. And for most exercises, just going back to the time hack, a time hack just means you're aware of the time, and whether it's 30 seconds of planks or 1 minute of push-ups, you're giving intervals dependent on how long the interval is. It'll be a minute or 30 seconds, so that everybody in the flight or the workout group knows how much time is left. It's just being a good wingman, and it's also good accountability. So let's see here. Okay, so yeah, after they assign a time hack, the PIFO says position of the exercise, move. And for most exercises, when they say position of the exercise, move, you're going to actually move to that position. If it's push-ups, you're going to get ready to do a push-up. You can be on your knees, but like you're ready to do that exercise. If you're doing sit-ups, you're on your back, you're ready to do sit-ups. However, for personal stretch, there's no official personal stretch or an official way to do personal stretches. So there is no starting position, if that makes sense. So at that point, they're just going to, everybody's just going to stay at attention. And then the PIFO is going to say, ready, begin. Time hack starts his watch or her watch, or just monitors the time at that point forward and lets everybody know what's going on. So then at 0600, the wing PIFO, not the flight PIFO, the wing PIFO in charge of all the flights, all the squadrons during PT time, is going to say, wing, fall in. So after the wing PIFO calls fall in, they will give orders of what to do next. It's usually fall out and get ready to do a warm-up lap, or fall out and get your water bottles, fall out and get your gear. Depends on what's going on, but just keep your ears open and see what they say. Then they'll say wing fall out, do whatever, and then they'll say, squadron commanders, take control of your squadrons and carry out the orders of the day. So what are the orders of the day? Well, the orders of the day are just literally whatever they just now said or said last. Like I said, it's usually a warm-up lap, or get your gear, get your water bottles, or fall out for dynamic stretches or something. That's all that means. And at that point, the squadrons, in a similar fashion, are going to say, flight commanders, take control of your flights and carry out the orders of the day. And then the flight commanders are going to say the same thing, or they can say what the wing PIFO actually said to their flights. And there's some more detail on the slide too about saluting, dropping the salute, facing. Let's see, I'm already at 15 minutes, so I'll just go through it. So after the wing PIFO gives the command of carry out the orders of the day to the squadron commanders, the GMC squadron commanders, the GMC squadron commanders are going to turn, usually it's from right to left, from the flight's position facing, usually it's right to left. They're going to turn and face the wing PIFO and salute them, and then as soon as the wing PIFO drops their salute, that's when the GMC squadron commanders can drop their salute, do a facing maneuver, and then that same salute process and carry out the orders of the day process ripples down from the wing PIFO all the way to the flights. And then when the flight commanders say, let's just say Alpha Flight again, Alpha Flight, fall out and do a warm-up, or fall out and do a warm-up lap. You know, they might say fall out and then say the orders, or they might say that in reverse and say, Alpha Flight, get ready to do a warm-up lap. Alpha Flight, fall out. There's a couple different ways to do it, but it ends with saying, Alpha Flight, fall out. And at that point, everybody literally don't have to do anything except for turn in the direction where you need to go and then start jogging. So, yeah, I know this covers a lot. It covers forming up, accountability. Let me redo that. I know this is a lot. It covers forming up, getting spacing, passing accountability from the flight level all the way up to the squadron POC in whatever squadron you're in. And it covers the different types of accountability and how to include people in different situations. And then it covers all the way up to 0600, that's the official start of PT, the wing PIFO giving orders, and then sending that back down the chain till you hear Alpha Flight fall out. So I hope this helps. This is the last slide, and then I'm going to edit this back into the original video that I made before I realized how much I had to expand on this and how easier it would be to explain if there was visuals. So without further ado, thank you so much for watching, and please take notes and bring any questions you have to each other and then flight commanders. All right. We'll see you guys. But again, that's a little bit higher up. That might take a couple PTs to sort of get the hang of. So yeah, then everybody does a warm-up lap or lines up for dynamic stretches. Usually we do in the order of cardio, like a warm-up lap, and then we do dynamic stretches and lines going down, equal, numbered lines as best we can. like leg kicks, toe touches, high knees, whatever. After the warm-up lap, and then after dynamic stretches, we usually fall in to listen to what the wing PIFO says about what we're doing that day, so whatever the activity is of the day. And everybody's just kind of collapsing into like a semicircle or a circle around the wing PIFO, and if you're a GMC, you're standing at attention. And then wing PIFO says, GMC be at ease. Okay guys, so today we're going to be doing this, this, and this. So just listen up and then you do the activity. So let's say the activity today is stations. They'll say over there is going to be station 1, that's going to be upper body. Station 2 is going to be cardio, you're going to be doing however many laps. Whatever, they usually have like printouts of paper and they have them like scattered throughout the area. And then they'll say, you know, divide your flights up and we'll be doing stations PT. So this is just an example. So that I can cover the next part, which is how to call exercises at PT. Do calling exercises. So the way to call exercises depends on what the exercise is. The first option is when you're calling the push-up, the sit-up, or the bodybuilder. You'll see that I emphasize the word the in those exercises, and that was for a reason. So you're calling one of those exercises the push-up, the sit-up, or the bodybuilder. You'll say, I am Cadet Jarima. At my command, the next exercise of the day will be the push-up, or the sit-up, or the bodybuilder. This is a blank count exercise. So 2 count is like down, 1, down, or up, 1, up, 2, up, 3. 4 count is like up, 2, 3, 1, up, 2, 3, 2, up, 2, 3, 3, 4, whatever I said. This is a blank count exercise that will be performed for blank repetitions. So a repetition is just whenever you hit that number 1, 2. So if you did a 2 count exercise that will be performed for 2 repetitions, you'd say down, 1, down, 2, and that's it. Position of the exercise, move. So let's just go with push-ups. Everybody would actually move to the position of push-ups. When everybody's ready, the PIFO will say, or whoever's calling the exercise will say, ready, begin, down. And you're kind of leading the cadence and counting with inflection on the last rep. So if you're doing 10 push-ups, down, 1, down, 2, down, 3, down, 4, down, 5, down, 6, down, 7, down, 8, down, 9, down, 10. So you just use that inflection down or down. I don't know. You just inflect your voice, meaning it goes from monotone to up, or it doesn't have to be monotone, maybe low to high, so that everybody goes, you know, everybody's paying attention to that last rep, and it signifies that was the last rep. So after everybody does that last rep, whoever's calling the exercise will get up from the position of the exercise, get into the position of attention, and call recover from the position of attention. And everybody will go from the position of the exercise to the position of attention. And then everybody that did that exercise just now will chant air power. So the words air power. So the second option, this is when you want to call an exercise that's not the sit-up, the push-up, or the bodybuilder. So anything else you can think of, that's an exercise that you can do. That's not those 3 things. This is what you do. The exact same thing, except for when you say, I am Cadet Jarima, let's just say I'm saying it, I am Cadet Jarima, at my command, the next exercise of the day will be blank, instead of saying the blank. That's the only difference. So if I want to call rows, which is a abdominal exercise, I can't really do it here, but it's an ab workout. And it's not the sit-up, the push-up, or the bodybuilder, so I'm not going to say the in front of it. So I say, I'm Cadet Jarima. At my command, the next exercise of the day will be rows. This is a 4-count exercise that will be performed for 30 repetitions. Position of the exercise, move. Everybody gets down on the ground. You kind of sit on your, kind of like you sit on your lower back. Ready, begin. Up, 2, 3, 1. Up, 2, 3, 2. All the way up to 28. Up, 2, 3, 29. Up, 2, 3, 30. So when you're doing a 4-count exercise, instead of going down, 1, where that's a 2-count exercise, or up, 1, that's a 2-count exercise inflection. When you're doing 4 counts, you do up, 2, 3, and then they say the last number. So that's how you signify to everybody that you're hitting that last repetition in case they forget. So in my example, if you're doing 30 rows, 4 count, you're doing 4 count rows for 30 repetitions, and you're at 28, up, 2, 3, 29, up, 2, 3, 30, up, 2, 3, 30. And then the same thing. You get up, I would get up at the position of attention and say, recover. Everybody gets up. Air power. Right? When the wing, no matter what anyone is doing, no matter what anyone is doing in the wing, whatever the activity is, no matter how far along they are, when the wing physical fitness officer says, stand by, everybody goes to the position of parade rest. And that, in that sense, it makes more sense to use stand by because you're getting everyone's attention. You don't just want to say recover because there's some people that didn't hear you. It kind of takes a little bit to travel across the room, the facility that we're using. But in those tight-knit circles, you know, usually anywhere from 5 to 15, 20 people, you can just stand up and after exercise and say recover because everybody's going to hear you. But if the wing PIFO says, is trying to get everybody's attention, that's when they're going to say stand by, and that's slowly everybody's going to go to parade rest, and then they'll say recover, and everybody's scattered doing different things, but they're all at the parade rest, and then recover, everybody's going to say air power. So yeah, you usually just do standby if you're trying to get a hold of a lot of people that might not hear you. So yeah, so the activity lasts however long. At around 0650, we're going to fall in again. At the wing physical fitness officers, at the wing PIFO's command, and you do the same procedure that you started PT with in terms of getting accountability, reporting it up the chain, and then doing personal stretch until, in this case, you don't really have a set time. It's just going to be whenever the wing PIFO says wing fall in. So yeah, okay. That was a lot of information. I know you might not even like this part of the video just because there's so much to it. And I really apologize, but I wanted to make sure that I covered everything that I wish I knew going into my first couple PTs. And it kind of adds up. There's kind of a lot to it when you have to break it down like this. But this is the end of the video. If you're worried or confused, don't be. You're probably, even if you watch all these videos 100 times, there's still going to be things that take you by surprise and things you don't know. And that's literally just, it's expected. And we're here to help you ask questions, be kind of like a sponge and just soak up all the information and be vigilant, be aware of what's going on, and you'll pick it up in no time. You guys are smart kids. You're going to, you know, one of the best schools ever, one of the best wings ever, one of the best detachments ever. We're going to help you out as best we can and see that you're successful. If you're confused on the process after 2 or 3 PTs, you know, you should be asking for help the whole time, but that's when you really should be asking your flight mates and asking your flight commander for clarification, a breakdown of steps, have them write it out for you. They're there to help you, but they can't help you if they don't know who needs help and what they need help with. So please, that comes with your personal responsibility and you chasing personal growth and maturity in these aspects. So I know it sounds like a lot. Don't be afraid. It's encouraged to fail. It's encouraged to mess up. Just learn from them. It's not a big deal if you learn from them. Nobody's judging you. We're not here to get you. We're here to help you grow. We want to get as many of you guys coming back every semester and just seeing what you guys can do. So, seems like a lot of information. It is, but when you get there, you'll see that it's actually not that bad, and you learn a lot just from seeing it and doing it again and again, and it's not that bad at all. So, I hope this video helped. I'm sorry for the length of it, and I'm sorry if anything doesn't make sense. I tried to break everything down, but if not, please just make sure you get that figured out, ask for help, whatever, we're here to help you. So yeah, with all that being said, we can't wait to see you become part of our family. We can't wait to watch you grow. We can't wait to help you. Come ready, come excited, and get after it. We can't wait to see you.